What's up, everybody? I'm Frankie Biggz. Thank you for stopping by to my channel. If you haven't yet, please like, subscribe, and put that notification bell on so you know the next time we drop one of these videos. Okay, let's get into it. We are watching American Hustle Life episode 7. We have this episode, and then we have the next one. The next one is going to be the last one. And also on that day, correct?
Correct.
Okay, also on that day, we are going to have Nate Waka on. It's going to be a pre-recorded video, but we're going to premiere it live. The whole issue, or not issue, well, I should say issue, because what we've been reading, we put out a little, promo thing about it, and we are asking people to ask questions. And the one thing, you guys can check it out, that keeps coming up is what he feels about episode 1. Now, the issue around episode 1 of American Hustle Life is that one episode, the very first one, turned off the Army big time. You would have to go back and watch it. If you haven't seen it, I do a reaction to it, so you can watch the entire episode with me, and you'll kind of see my real-time reaction to it. I can understand why Army completely turned off to this, and believe me, we've noticed it. We've noticed that when we've put the series on, with me watching it, that, a lot of people are boycotting it. We didn't realize that this was such a boycotted series as it relates to BTS. However, the thing is that in the end, the boys did make some friendships with Tony and Nate Waka. And when the series was done, Tony did a number of interviews, but Nate did not. And I know Nate personally, so does my wife, and we know why. Just Nate is a very private person. You know what I mean? He's an artist, but he's a private person. He's an introvert in a way, but when he wants to open up, he does it in his own way. So he didn't do a lot of interviews, and we were very lucky all these years later after this to finally, get Nate to come on. So next week is going to be that. It's going to be watching the last episode, and then that's going to go into the interview that I do with Nate. And I'm asking him your questions. So if you have any questions, please leave it in these comments. We're getting all the questions together that you want to ask about, American Hustle Life and him and what he's doing. Okay? So without further ado, let's get into American Hustle Life episode 7, and we'll talk more at the end on the other side of this video. Let's count it down. 1, 2, 3. It's about time to. I was just getting into all this. Wow. So like I was just saying to Irene over here, it's like, why do they shit on these guys so much? Mm-hmm. This is what's going to make this interview interesting with Nate, is kind of asking like that question without sounding like so bad. I'm not trying to ask like a got you question, but just more like what was like the brain thought to. And I don't know, this could be a Hitman Bang thing.
Probably is.
You know what I mean? I think that they just sat there and thought, how could we like put them through some pretty degrading shit? And it looks like Jimin doesn't play that game. Mm-hmm. Jimin don't play that game. Jimin, of all of them, seems to be the one that he plays along. But I like his attitude when it comes to like being upset. The more upset he gets, the more he doesn't give a fuck. You know what I mean? And then he gets happier, but in a sinister way. Like, Jimin's got a beautiful smile. Like, I heard this comedian say this about Kendrick Lamar, and I think the same thing about Jimin. Like, Jimin's got a beautiful smile. It's just too bad that he uses it for dastardly deeds. In this case, you know what I mean? He's just walking around like, nah, I don't care. If you're just gonna be an asshole to me, I'm not gonna give you the energy you want out of me back. I'm just gonna do things that just further annoy the shit out of you. So let's get back to it. Sorry about that, folks, but I will say this, just putting it out there, that streaming this series towards the end, like starting at about episode 5 till now that we're on 7, we have one more, has been a lot harder on us than we anticipated. It wasn't as it's not as easy as it was before. So this one, we could only find this one, and it cuts out the last couple minutes at the end. So I will see how this ends up, but getting back to it, I just think it's cool. I thought it was really fun to see these guys doing that type of work. But I maintained the same thing, which is I never understood why they shit on these guys so hard, man. Like from the first episode to this one, it's just been one big dumping on these poor guys. Like, but I guess maybe too, because I'm sure it makes kind of Americans look like assholes. And for those of you who are not American, please believe me when I tell you, not all of us are assholes. I promise you. Not all of us are like that. A good half of our country, we're not assholes. So this was just a bit much, and I want to believe that whoever sat and brainstormed this show between Hitman Bang and the Americans, a lot of this, because I know Americans are very like, okay, you tell us how you want this to be. We're just going to shoot and produce it. You come up with the content. And I just feel like that's just part of that's par for the course, I guess, when it comes to the Asian culture as a whole. Because like I said before, I was married to a Taiwanese girl for a while, and I got to understand that culture. And what I am picking up about this is that I know that in the Asian culture, they absolutely implement everyday things, everyday experiences and jobs, whether it's cleaning planes or cleaning bathrooms or hotel rooms. They consider everyday life and those actions and those events as part of training and discipline towards the bigger goal. And they lean heavy on that. Case in point would be, and even though it's just an echo of what I'm saying, would be the Karate Kid, the whole wax on, wax off, all of those things that are common life for those folks. They've been able to encapsulate them and turn them into life lessons and even into full-on training for bigger careers or even in fighting or anything like that. And I dig that about the Asian culture because it's so disciplined when it comes to that. So that's what I see. But I can also see how it translates as to America and Americans just being assholes. Like the guy that owns that airport. I don't know who that guy is, but, and this was done such a long time ago, but if I ever had the money to use an airport like that or use this guy's services, after seeing that, I probably would never, ever want to know who that person is. Or I'd probably want to know just to know to avoid a person like that. So it wasn't a good look for that guy to act that way towards these guys. And now I'm starting to understand. I get why Army doesn't really give this series too much of a thing. And then the Army that did do it, you know, they have their questions. So you're going to get to ask those questions right now in the comments, because we're going to have Nate Walker on next week. Next week, the 20th, 420. We're going to have Nate Walker, and so if you've got a question about this, or you've got a comment to make about the series, put it in the comments below. We're going to definitely have the chance to ask them. Now, it won't be live. It'll be pre-recorded. So ask your questions now. Don't wait until we premiere it live, because it's just going to be me and Irene manning the chat. So ask your questions now. All right. With that said, thanks for stopping by. I can't wait for next week to see you guys there. This is going to be cool. We got one more week, so get these questions in right now. Right now, because starting Wednesday and Thursday, we're collecting all of those questions, and we're going to try to ask him everything we can. We've already got a good handful of questions, so don't hesitate to ask about him and what he's doing, because he's got some information that he's going to share with us. We don't know if it's about BTS or if it's about him, or we don't know. All I know is that you heard the promo. I got some stuff I want to share with you, some information, so we'll see. So tune in next week, 420. It's going down. Till then, thank you for stopping by, and if you haven't yet, please like, subscribe, and put that notification bell on so you know the next time we drop one of these videos. See you guys next week, man. Peace.